ex-husband's father abandoned in a nursing home. I kept coming back. 2 months later, on one of his clear days, he pressed an envelope into my hands. It changed everything and ended my ex-husband's carefully built lie. No flowers, no cards, no family photos on the wall. Just Walter Hayes, sitting by a window, staring at a parking lot. The man who used to iron his own shirts, polish his shoes every Sunday night. The proudest man I ever knew, sitting there in a nursing home gown like someone had simply forgotten him. I asked the nurse if family visited. She paused too long before answering. Not anymore, she said softly. My ex-husband Daniel had put him here, handled the paperwork, told neighbors Walter needed care, told church friends Walter didn't want visitors, then stopped coming. I stepped into the room before I could talk myself out of it. Walter looked up, squinted. Claire, he whispered, 3 years since my divorce, 3 years since I'd changed churches, changed grocery stores, changed my whole route to the post office just to avoid this family. And here I was. Hi, Walter. I came back Saturday, brought a real blanket, warm socks, fruit cut into small pieces. I told myself it was what any decent person would do. I lied to myself. I came back because of the look on his face when he said my name. On my 4th visit, Walter forgot about the divorce. Asked if Daniel had fixed the loose deck board at our old house yet. Not my deck anymore, I said. The shame on his face nearly broke me. I stopped expecting him to remember everything. Started just showing up. Then, one Tuesday, he grabbed my wrist as I stood to leave. His grip was stronger than it had any right to be. His eyes were clear, fully clear. Don't trust them, he said. My heart hammered. Walter? Daniel, he whispered, glancing at the door. And her, Vanessa. His hand tightened. They didn't put me here because they had to. A chill ran down my back. Papers, he said. Signatures. They needed me out of the way. I wouldn't sign. Sign what? But the clarity was already slipping, like watching a window fog over from the inside. Claire, he said softly. Were you leaving? I didn't sleep that night. 2 days later, I came early. I heard Daniel's voice before I reached the room. Low, controlled, worse than angry. Just sign it, Dad. You won't even remember this tomorrow. Then Vanessa, smooth as ice, twice as cold. You don't need to understand. That's the whole point. I pushed the door open. Or maybe he does. Daniel went pale for half a second. Exactly half. Then the mask slid back on. Claire, what are you doing here? Vanessa gave that practiced little laugh. Still dramatic? I looked straight at the papers in Daniel's hand. Visiting someone you forgot existed. Daniel smiled the way men smile when they want an audience to think they're patient. You're misunderstanding. No, I said. I'm finally understanding. I turned to Walter. Do you know what those papers are? He frowned. No. Then he's not signing anything. Daniel's smile died. Who do you think you are? I thought about the empty room, the thin blanket, the applesauce nobody touched. I let the silence work for me. Then I said, I'll be back tomorrow. Don't bother. Oh, I said quietly. I will. That night I found an elder law attorney named Ethan Mercer. Told him everything. He listened without interrupting. When I finished, he folded his hands. What you're describing, he said, is common enough that I never call it surprising anymore. We walked back into that nursing home together the next afternoon. Ethan carried a leather portfolio. I carried Fury in a navy cardigan. When Daniel saw us, he skipped the pleasantries. What is this? Someone, I said. Who can explain what those papers actually mean? Vanessa looked up from her phone. You brought a lawyer? I brought a witness. Ethan introduced himself. Asked Walter calmly if he'd like anything explained before signing. Daniel cut in. We are his family. Ethan ignored him. Looked only at Walter. Walter looked at Daniel, then at the papers, then at me. And in a voice thin but clear enough to change the temperature in the room, he said, yes. Daniel's jaw flexed. Walter pushed the papers away with the heel of his hand. I don't sign things I don't understand. The room went absolutely still. Daniel's hand hit the side table with a crack that made Walter flinch. After everything I've done for you? Walter looked at his son for a long moment, then said the quietest, most devastating thing I've ever heard. You didn't do it for me. You did it for yourself. 3 days later, Louise Parker, sharp 70 years old, navy suit, courtroom voice, formally revoked every authority Daniel had claimed or was trying to claim. His access, gone. His control, gone. His carefully constructed story about being a good son, gone. I was in Walter's room when Daniel arrived to find out. He came in fast, face tight, voice barely contained. You manipulated him. Louise didn't even stand. No, she said. I represented your father during multiple verified lucid periods. What you're objecting to isn't manipulation. She let the pause land like a gavel. It's consequences. Daniel looked at me, shaking now. You did this. Walter answered before I could. No, he said. I did. The ground under Daniel's feet had shifted, and for the first time in his life, he knew it. He left without another word. The next morning, my phone buzzed. A number I didn't recognize. A voicemail. 12 seconds long. I pressed play. It was Vanessa, and what she said made my blood go cold. Full story on the channel linked below.